Nyezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịhụnanya na ọka mma, ịdịkọ n'otu ka mma, ọ bụ omenala Biafra na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye ezu adịghị mma. Ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịhụnanya na ọka mma, ịdịkọ n'otu ka mma, ọ bụ omenala Biafra na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma. Igbu ọchụ na ọjọkakwa, ịla akụ n'iyi adịghị mma, ọ bụ omenala zuu. Ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma.
Your war has lasted. Finland's winter war lasted 105 days. Your war has lasted 10 times longer. We understand what you're going through. We will support you for as long as it takes. We support you because it is morally right. We support you because you're fighting for your independence. But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security. The fight in Ukraine is our fight. Slava Ukraini.
Atọrọ ọmara, atọrọ ofeke, ofenye isi n'ọfịa. Atọrọ ọmara, atọrọ ofeke, ofenye isi n'ọfịa. Lovely Biafrans, 9 days to go. Then, after that 9 days, from the 2nd of December, you will then understand the law. So, lovely Biafrans, please, as you are joining us this blessed morning, join us to listen to this song again.
Onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịhụnanya na ọka mma, ịdịkọ n'otu ka mma, ọ bụ omenala Biafra na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma. Igbu ọchụ na ọjọkakwa, ịla akụ n'iyi adịghị mma, ọ bụ omenala zuu. Ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma.
Otu a ka ọ dị. For those that will understand the joy of Biafra, 9 days to go, 9 days to go, 9 days to go. Then you will understand the law. And we need numbers. Please help us to share this message, because we have come to deliver information from the PM, direct information from the PM. As you all knows, we have come to deliver direct information from the PM. And before we do this,
Finland's winter war lasted 105 days. Your war has lasted 10 times longer. We understand what you're going through. We will support you for as long as it takes. We support you because it is morally right. We support you because you're fighting for your independence. But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security. The fight in Ukraine is our fight. Slava Ukraini.
So, Are you getting the key now? 9 days to go. Make up your mind and make sure you make it to Finland. If you cannot make it to Finland, the next thing you should do is to be at alert, mental toughness and mental capability, because from Daily Post, the Prime Minister says, Nigerian news says, Simon Ekpa insists on no going back on Biafran independent declaration. He also hires other U.S. attorneys to speak for them. Now, because of anything, those who begin to panic, I will bring this message like this. I will bring this message like this because when we do our program so that both Tom and Dick will understand what is happening. And our message is very, very clear. We do not hide anything. We are not DOS. We do not hide anything. We are not DOS. So for that reason, we will bring this message like this. Message from the bridge cabinet. Message from the bridge cabinet. Ndewo, anybody that is joining, please, your comment is very, very necessary. Your comment is very, very important. Trying to understand the law, we have very long time today to pieces a lot of things because our message is going here. Our message is going here. Remember, we are 555 vision, 555 vision, Biafra gospel and the Bible. Biafra gospel and the Bible. So when we are teaching and preaching whatever we are preaching, we preach according to the line. This was the message. This was the message. Then, greetings, friends and the allies, on behalf of the Biafran government bridge, as the chief of staff to the Prime Minister, I am here to inform you that our indefeatable Prime Minister is well and busy with the engagement he has currently in Finland, sorting out issues ending from winter 2023. And a lot of propaganda begin to come out from those who doesn't understand the meaning of this song. From those who doesn't understand the meaning of being happy and being
Ibo
a
onye
Biafran.
Biafra ka mma, Ibo onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na Ibo onye Biafra ka mma, ịhụnanya na ọka mma, ịdịkọ n'otu ka mma, ọ bụ omenala Biafra na Ibo onye Biafra ka mma.
Otu a ka ọ dị. Now, as we are going on, the Minister of Information, Honorable Sonny Abarawa, spoke with the PM, and he says, I spoke with the PM before departing for the official assignment. He is fine and will address Biafrans on his return. Everyone to focus on the convention ahead plus financial contribution. Many people are already on their way to Finland and the convention for the convention because of roles they have to play. as rehearsal. No panic. This is not IPOB Nigeria that is underground. This is Biafra government. There are differences between an organization working inside underground and the government. Then from there you will come to understand the meaning of this message now. Because everything we are doing it for the betterment of Biafrans.
Finland's winter war lasted 105 days. Your war has lasted 10 times longer. We understand what you're going through.
Your war has lasted 10 times longer.
True. We will support you for as long as it takes. We support you because it is morally right.
We will support you as long as it takes. We will support you because it is your moral right.
We support you because you're fighting for your independence.
We will support you because you are fighting for your independence.
But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security.
But we also support you because you are fighting for your security. Simple mathematics. And what do you see here now? EBA insists on no going back on Biafran declaration. Insist on no going back on Biafran declaration. Now, how do we then begin to start this movement? Many people, Ndị Nzama, has already opened their ear down to jubilate, to celebrate, but Rocha Sokorocha knows exactly what he see and what he heard before he come out to make this demand. Before he come out to make this demand, Roger Sokrocha knows one thing. He knows.
Thank you, brother. As we round up this night of tribute, let it be known to all men that life is an inexplicable pattern of mystery, where no man knows when he was born and when he will die. And this notorious fact is deeply rooted in the fact that every man is created by God with his works, and the talent are the guides. For no man can grow above or beyond his destiny. For every man's destiny has a relationship with God. So let it be with Ifanyoba. Let it be with the Newi-born politician. Let it be with our brother. Let it be with the great philanthropist, the great leader, the motivator. Let it be the lover of mankind and citizen of humanity. May his soul rest in peace. And to you, little Baz, madam, and your lovely children particularly, I have not died before, and I don't intend to die soon. But let me say something, that I do know that the Ikemba Ojukus, the Kwemes, and these great leaders of note who have left us, since the spirit never dies, I'm sure, they're having meetings somewhere. And I can only imagine what kind of meeting is saying. And their meeting is Undibo. And Igbo, hear me, what is the likely thing these leaders are discussing now, including the youngest of them all, the Fanyoba. The question they're asking, Igbos, why do you play the politics of hate? Why do you hate one another? Ojukwu recalled his quarrels with Ekweme, and now they say it is vanity. Iwanyanwu recalled his quarrels with Enwerem, now they are in one place. And so, they are asking Igbos, may you embrace peace. Another thing that happened that is common with these great men is that before the death of Iwanyanwu made a plea to Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ezife went to Villa and begged Nigerian nation. Ifeanyi made a statement in the same line. I want to say to you, my brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Senate President, convey this one message on behalf of these Igbos who are seated, that the best way to honor this great young man is the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So that the Igbos can go home and reorganize their place. And I know you, Senator Babio, that even
Okay?
I want to say to you, my brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Senate President, convey this one message on behalf of these Igbos who are seated, that the best way to honor this great young man is the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So that the Igbos can go home and reorganize their place. And I know you, Senator Babio, that even if you don't want to do it, send this message. For the sake of your wife, who is our daughter, send this message and get us a result. Or else, your wife is not too far from taking back home. Your Excellency, Mr. President, we are particularly happy that you are always coming to associate yourself with things like this. Nigeria still remains.
Now, Biafrans, we are joining our program because this is a gospel. Biafran Gospel and the Bible from 555 Vision. Then, if you are not understanding it, try to understand the message they conveyed to. Goodluck Jonathan is also there. All the leaders of Nigeria, all of them are there when Rochas Okorocha delivered that message. And when you are trying to understand this message very, very well, you put your attention to this place because they know already what is happening. They know already what is happening. Rochas Okorocha say, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so that Igbos can go home and they rearrange themselves. So this is my jingle today.
Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịhụnanya na ọka mma, ịdịkọ n'otu ka mma, ọ bụ omenala Biafra na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịbụ onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma.
That he's mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me. He's a madman. He appoints judges. Buhari has appointed judges in this country. He should stop integrating judges. That is problem. People can have it or not have it. I won't have it. I will not have it. Buhari can integrate judges, not me. That's very poor nonsense.
You get the message? If you are not getting the message, please try to be getting this message because they know exactly what is happening. Listen to the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again. and the PM send message, he is coming. Nigerian government delivered.
Tell Buhari, that's what I said, that he's mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me. He's a madman. He appoints judges. Buhari has been appointing judges in this country. He should stop declaring judges. That is rubbish. People can have it, I will not have it. I won't have it. I will not have it. Buhari can intimidate judges, not me. Get me. Nonsense. I'm going to kill my people. Yeah, it's okay. After killing my people, you tell me to tell me the secret. Yeah. The person is mad. Not completely mad. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret prayer. You are moving the back of the rubbish. The boss have been born. Rubbish.
Because why? Because why?
Onye zu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o n'ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma, ịhụnanya na ka mma, ịdịkọ n'otu ka mma, ọ bụ omenala Biafra na ịbụ onye Biafra ka mma.
So, as we are going on, Biafrans, this is 555 Vision, Biafra Gospel, and the Bible. 9 days to go. Then they will understand the law. The people that already encroached a little to the law, they understand what is coming. And they have confirmed that PM says no going back. He is not backing down. Therefore, do you mind? What we are just playing now is a jingle to our message, the message we have today. The message we have today, the jingle of it. Because
Africa! Africa! Africa!
the whole kings from Biafran land gathered together, and they call him the light of Africa. In Biafra, Africa died. Resurrection of Biafra is the resurrection of all Africa. It doesn't matter who is messing up. It doesn't matter who is trying to speak otherwise. Resurrection of Biafra is the resurrection of all Africa. That is why the whole kings from Biafran land came together and they crowned Mazen Nnamdi Kanu the light of Africa. Let us continue from our jingle, this holy gospel this morning.
Africa! Africa!
Mazen Nnamdi Kanu says he has gathered everybody, more than 80 to 90 million people. He delivered the message. Then at the end, he said, all of you have heard this message, and he is not here to prepare you. He is only coming to inform you people, those who is called for this message. If you check the people that will bring this message, all of them, what they are doing today are members of IPOB Nigeria, supporting Soludo, those who sold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, those who sold and they handed ESN over to Soludo, over to Eastern governors. But the people that kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they says that Iwe Anyanwu asked, and he went there. Ifeanyi Uba now is now in the grave, conveying message to Ojukwu, telling him that Simon Ekpa have decided not going back. That is the message. Because message from the gods goes to the gods. Message from the living goes to the living. Message from the dead goes to the dead. And what is happening? The people that died. Remember, when Okwadike, when he was here, he says, we will find the message. This is Biafran gospel. Okwadike says that, what is the name of that man that asks for, this man said it here before. He says, he is calling upon the people that died. Somebody who knows the name of that old man that died, that requested for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu release. Please help me to write the name so I can balance up my message now. Okay, that had this man. Then, that this man died. He don't know what he will tell him when he died. That they have not been able to restore peace in the eastern zone. Then Okwadike asked, release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to him for it to become the last thing he did for Igbo people. They couldn't release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Then he died. Then Iwe Anyanwụ said the same thing. Iwe Anyanwụ also stood against Biafra. Then he is on his way there. Ifeanyi Uba now is going to give them the latest news. All Biafra people that died before, all of them are gathered. All of them has gathered. Ifeanyi Uba, do you know the message Ifeanyi Uba is delivering to them now? Eba insists on not going back on Biafra independent declaration. He also hires lobbyists inside Washington, D.C., and he couldn't stand it. That is why he died. And now he has went to that place to deliver message down to Ojukwu himself, who started this message, who started this journey. Ojukwu. No, there is one man, that old man that asked for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu before he will meet his ancestors. We need the name of that man here, please, so I can balance my message. We are preaching Biafran gospel. We don't like to miss any of it. I forgot his name. Then, thank you so much. Mbazulika Amwechi. Thank you so much. Mbazulika Amwechi. Let us now build our morale again to this message. We preach our message as gospel. So understand. Continue.
Young Africa! Young Africa! Young Africa! Nnamdi Kanu! Nnamdi Kanu! Young Africa! Nnamdi Kanu! Young Africa!
Now, after the rendition of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that was the time all of them realized the kind of person inside the body of the person bearing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. After his rendition, you know, we started IPOB. We are first early IPOB, 2014. When we are here preaching, they call us miscreants. They call us jobless people. They call us different kind of name. They call us uneducated people. We defeated them by telling them, speaking English language is in language of England people. So I am not here to speak like Soludo. I am here to interpret the English they told them. They teach them in the school. We understand what it means. So, Mbazulika Amwechi asked for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Iwe Anyanwụ asked for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu when they found out that somebody more mighty is behind. According to the revelation from Obasanjo, who said that if Nigerian government would have consulted him that they are going to rendition Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, he will tell them not to go. That even if they want to go, they should go to that boy in Finland, Nwaoda. They should go to Ekperima in Finland. That Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is only handling microphone. If they would have consulted him, he will advise them to go and capture Nwaoda, because Nwaoda ya akporo fancha niile kpoba inside the Biafra. That guy is a Ekperima. Do you know now? Today now we are being bold, very very bold to call Simon Ekpa Ekperima. Do you know? Because we understand what is Ekperima. If this kind of Ekperima of Simon Ekpa is what it means, let every generation of Biafra become Ekperima. And I will go back and listen to this beautiful song again, because Ebonye Biafra was the best thing. Everybody had, do you know, Nwaoda, they sold Nwaoda for 5.5 million ejema in Naira, 5.5 million. Those people that is insulting our prime minister. Then Mbazulike Amechi asked for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because they see that the Nwaoda has come to drag everybody. He said, if you people don't release Nnamdi Kanu, he will drag all of you inside the Biafran land. He will drag everybody and push you inside Biafran land. Nwaoda. Then the people that understand the meaning of Nwaoda, they came up. There have been a mighty challenge. Some people are pricing Nwaoda 4.5 million. Some people are pricing 5 million. Some people, the last person won it. And if the challenge keep going on, that Nwaoda will be sold not less than 10 billion naira, 10 million ejema. But finally, they sold it for 5.5 million. Because Obasanjo knew. Obasanjo told them, if you people would have consulted him that you are going to arrest Nnamdi Kanu, he will tell you people that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is only handling microphone. When he is a person that can study, that maybe sit at home, they will plead with him, say, can you cancel this sit at home so that people can vote? He will cancel it. But to this person you are looking here, his heart is beside. Nobody knows whether he have heart or he doesn't have heart. That is what Obasanjo said. But above all, when all this thing was going on, Mazen Simon Ekpa was one Nigeria doing his own thing with the Nigerian people. Then we came here from after the rendition of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. All these people, let me go a little now. You will hear the people who bring out this message. You will hear.
Yes, Africa! Nnamdi Kanu! 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 Yes, Africa!
Gente, listen. Because many are called.
These are the kings and royal majesties of Biafra land. I am Mazi Oga Samuel Madabuchi reporting for Family Writers directly from Faruku, Ibeku, the homeland of our king and queen, whose bodies are being led to the Mother Earth today. Here are all the kings and the Royal Highnesses of Igbo land from different parts of Biafra. Igbo, Ishekiri is here, Ibibio is here, Ikwere is here.
We continue. We will continue. Let us hear the song.
Ibo onye Biafra ka mma, Ibo onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na Ibo onye Biafra ka mma, ịhụnanya na ọka mma, ịdịkọ n'otu ka mma, ọ bụ omenala Biafra na Ibo onye Biafra ka mma, Ibo onye Biafra ka mma, Ibo onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na Ibo onye Biafra ka mma. Igbu ọchụ na ọjọọ kakwa ịla akụ n'ihe adịghị mma, ọ bụ omenala zuu. Ibo onye Biafra ka mma, Ibo onye Biafra ka mma, Ibo onye ezu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na Ibo onye Biafra ka mma.
Tell Buhari, that's what I said, that he's mad. He cannot join me. He cannot join me. He's a madman. He appoints judges. Buhari has been appointing judges in this country. He should stop integrating judges. That is rubbish. People can have it, I will not have it. I won't have it. I will not have it. Buhari can intimidate judges, not me. Get rid of me. Nonsense. They are killing my people. Yeah, okay. After killing my people, you tell me to tell the secret. The person is mad. Not mad. Completely mad. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret prayer. Well, I'm going to back rubbish. The person have been born. Rubbish. Rubbish.
So now, Biafrans, now we are set up our program, how we want to ride. You know, the minister of information spoke with the PM. You know, PM is a politician. PM is a human rights activist. PM is a lawyer. He not only that he is a lawyer, he studied international law. He studied international law. And it doesn't end there. He also worked with the criminal investigative police. And he is the holder. He is the holder of ambassador, universal ambassador for peace all over the world. Then, the first message, people are calling us, telling us that PM has not tweeted, he has not tweeted, nearly that we cannot even sleep. Different calls are coming, We told them nothing is happening. Go and plan yourself if you are going to Finland. If you are not going to Finland, prepare your money. What Biafra need is money. And this news says that the invitation of 2023, and today, the Minister of Information, Honorable Sonny, spoke with the Biafran Prime Minister. After speaking with him, the Prime Minister told everybody what we need now, major, is financial contribution. Many people are already on their way to Finland for the convention because of the roles they have to play as rehearsal. No panic. This is not IPOB Nigeria. This is Biafra government. Simple and short. And why do we come very bold like this? The reason Obasanjo told Tinubu, Obasanjo, who understood the power of our prime minister, told him Obasanjo bombed Tinubu. Your Baba go show Emelekon resign has confirmed Nigeria as a failing state, sinking into chaos. You know, when they say they speak diplomacy, they speak diplomatic word. This is how they throw the diplomatic word. Then when you want to understand, you will enter inside the bosom, then you will see the game. And why are they panicking? Why are they crying? It's because Biafra already have their own constitution registered. And many people, I know, we understand because we are here delivering this gospel. We understand that a lot of people have been in high panic because of PM has not tweeted. But the reason we are here every day saying the same thing is because if Bible can be preached, if Bible can be preached for more than 1,500 years now, since the formulation of Christianity, over 1,500 years, because after the death of Jesus Christ, it took 500 and something years before establishment of Christianity. Before after then, they write Bible. The Bible now is 1,500 years like that. And since that time, they are preaching one book. Pastors are opening churches, preaching one book. You understand? We have Quran also. Then we will be preaching Biafra. Then we told our people to understand that everything that is happening is based on law. Based on law. Then when we bring this thing out, we tell our people that this thing is the name of it is Abaraka Azana. Onye jiji anakonye ọkwa ọnụ ga-ekwu ọ bụ onye agwara okwe. That is the meaning of this message. Ọkwa ọnụ ga-ekwu ọ bụ onye agwara okwe. When we bring this one out, we will let our people to know that everything will end up on a round table, according to our Prime Minister. He said, you can go to hell, you can go to heaven, you can dance up and down, but
Finland's winter war lasted
we all end in
105
one
days.
table.
Your war has lasted 10 times longer. We understand what you're going through. We will support you for as long as it takes. We support you because it is morally right. We support you because you're fighting for your independence. But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security.
That is the message. Then, lovely Biafrans, please, if you have not hit the like button, try to hit the like button. Now we are starting our program. Use this opportunity to hit the like button. And those that is watching us new, you are watching this program from 555 Vision Biafran Gospel. That is from where you are watching 555 Vision Biafran Gospel and the Bible. We preach Biafran Gospel according to how it happened. And the war in front of us, how we beat them. When the matter starts, how do you defend yourself? That is what you are about to watch now. And here we go on to our analysis of today. Because of some people that has been in panic for a very long time. So we will take it from here. Then we will begin. We will take the message
Nigerian leader said he is looking forward to strengthening the ties between Nigeria and human rights treaties during the convention. 24. Unlike other secessionist governments in Africa before and since, Biafra was recognized by 5 United Nations member states, the letter reads in part. This comes amid the increased agitation for Biafra independence in the past years. ECPA had announced that from November 29 to 3, 2024, Biafra independence will be declared in a convention in Finland. Recall that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been under detention since 2021 over Biafra agitation. Efforts and appeals from several Igbo leaders for his freedom have not yielded fruit.
Follow us amicably.
Biafra will assent to all UN human rights treaties, Simon Ekpa. Published by Daily Post Nigeria. The Simon Ekpa-led Biafra Republic government in exile has said it will back all United Nations human rights treaties in its coming Biafra Declaration Convention. Ekpa disclosed this in an X-Space meeting on Thursday. According to him, supporting all UN treaties on human rights is sufficient to amplify the continued marginalization of the Nigerian government against Biafra and its people in the southeast region.
So, I will be doing this message like this now. When PM was interviewed by Dr. Damages, Dr. Damage is a comedian. When he was interviewed, he asked, how do you speak to the government? Is it the way you speak to Biafrans? He said no, that when he speaks to government, these authorities, he speaks to them like a politician. And that was why we bring out this message. And the PM gave one assurance, which he said that there is nobody that listens to him on this quest for Biafra that will not succumb and they support Biafra. Because number one, he has a sweet mouth. Number two, he has evidence. Number three, he has the power. Number four, he has all the qualification. Number five, he has the document covering everything he is doing. And that was why what you are listening to this place, because they invited our PM to come and tell them what he is going to do come December 29, which we have 9 days to go until December 2nd. He is now tabling everything to the government of Finland and the government of the Scandinavia zone. Listen, the people who is watching us, you have advantage to some messages. Since 2022, if you people know the kind of meeting we used to have that give us courage in what we are doing, it is in the government. Yes, you cannot show the message because it is not permitted to be recorded. But no law told us not to tell people what we see. You understand? Those that is here, you know, we preach mental toughness and the mental capability in this place. Now, there are some meetings we PM invited many of us one time, many times. The people that was in the meeting are all Scandinavia government. Our own is this: we are not allowed to speak, but he invites us because come and see with your own eye what is happening. All Scandinavia government was in the meeting. You understand? Finland is inside Scandinavia, in case of people that doesn't know. Now, all of them, after then, he showed everybody the atrocities that is happening in Biafran land. many of them begin to cry inside the Zoom meeting. Now, DOS and all the things they did, it was in the news when the Finland government invited our PM. Then when they invited our PM, the PM went there. He let them know what is happening. That the restoration of Biafra is for the benefit of Europe and America. Maka n'ihi gịnị? Isi mkpi nọ n'ime akpa mkpi. That the restoration of Biafra is for the betterment of Europe. Then listen to the president of Finland now. Listen to what he said. Now you know that they have no option than to support him. Then yesterday, or day before yesterday, the chief of the lobby released a memo saying there is a country, there is a country that got their independent, and the Trump administration recognized that country. Let me know if I will be very, very sure for that message before giving it to the public. I have it, but it's very far from where I will get it now. Then I want to know the name of that new country. Then the chief of the lobby says that Washington, D.C. has recognized that place, that country, as an independent nation. He says that Biafra is the next. He says that Biafra is the next for Washington, D.C. to recognize as independent nation. Because in Trump administration is a miracle that will stop all this OMG, this brigade organization, cutting people's body parts, and the OMG, this organic food they are doing in Africa. These are things Trump has come to stop. Now, the restoration of Biafra become ọkpụkpụ gbanyere ndị Europe n'olu, because freeing Biafra is the best thing that can happen. What is happening? The messages are coming. Okay, a lot of messages are coming. Finland, Nigeria, separate agitator Simon Ekpa and the 4 other individuals have been, and everything. Then, no matter whatever that is happening, listen to the message.
Finland's winter war lasted 105 days. Your war has lasted 10 times longer. We understand what you're going through. We will support you for as long as it takes. We support you because it is morally right. We support you because you're fighting for your independence. But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security. The fight in Ukraine is our fight. Slava Ukraini.
So, we continue to our message. We continue with our message because self-defense has never been a crime anywhere in this world. And Biafra must be free. What is happening to this thing? Continue. Hold on, please. It's loading.
And over Biafra agitation. Simon Ekpa says Biafra will respect UN human rights treaties. Published by The Guardian Nigeria News. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Simon Ekpa, said it will back all United Nations human rights treaties in its coming Biafra Declaration Convention. Ekpa, who disclosed this in an X-Space meeting yesterday, maintained that supporting all UN treaties on human rights is sufficient to amplify the continued marginalization of the Nigerian government against Biafra and its people in the southeast region. He noted that Biafrans have been under attack in the history of Nigeria since 1967. He alleged that the continued marginalization of the Igbos in the southeast by the Nigerian government is the sole reason for self-rule. That Biafra government to assent to all United Nations human rights treaties during the convention. We are agitating for Biafra independence due to the persistent marginalization by the Nigerian government, he said. This comes as Ekpa announced November 28 to December 2024 for the Biafra Declaration. Recall that since 2021, Nnamdi Kanu has been under detention by the Nigerian government over Biafra agitation. Southeast governors, groups from the region and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election, Peter Obi had vigorously drummed support for the release of Kanu as a panacea to peace in the region. Senators from the Southeast region had also met with the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, to demand the release of the IPOB leader. After the meeting, the lawmakers resolved to approach President Bola Tinubu to beg for Kanu's freedom.
We'll resist Nigeria's moves to persuade Trump against Biafra independence, Ekpa says. Published by the Southern Examiner. Self-proclaimed Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic in Exile, BRGIE, Simon Ekpa, says BRGIE will counter any diplomatic move by the Tinubu administration to persuade the incoming Trump administration in the U.S. against supporting the cause of Biafra. Ekpa is alleging that Abuja officially wrote to Donald Trump when he was the U.S. president, urging him to distance himself from the undying agitation for the freedom of Ndibo. This is coming as President Bola Tinubu has already congratulated the U.S. president-elect, Donald Trump, after defeating Kamala Harris of the Democratic Party. Trump is set to become the 47th U.S. president. In a statement by Tinubu's spokesman, Bayo Onanuga, the Nigerian leader said he is looking forward to strengthening the ties between Nigeria and the U.S. amid the complex challenges and opportunities of the contemporary world. Together, we can foster economic cooperation, promote peace, and address global challenges that affect our citizens. Trump's victory reflects the trust and confidence the American people have placed in his leadership. He congratulates them on their commitment to democracy, says Tinubu. Onanuga points out that his principal believes that, given Trump's experience as the 45th president of the U.S. from 2017 to 2021, his return to the White House as the 47th president will usher in an era of earnest, beneficial, and reciprocal economic and development partnerships between Africa and the U.S. Acknowledging the U.S. influence, power, and position in determining the trend and course of global events, President Tinubu trusts that Trump will bring the world closer to peace and prosperity. EPKA is, however, claiming that Abuja did not only seek to distance Trump from his movement but that it also advertised his activism to the president in an attempt to undermine his cause. Expressing defiance, the pro-Biafra activist says the Nigerian government's efforts will not deter him from continuing his fight for the rights and freedoms of Biafrans. The development highlighted the growing international attention on Ekpa's campaign and the Nigerian government's attempts to curb external support for his movement. Ekpa, who is also the leader of the Biafra Autopilot movement, has since engaged an American lobbying firm, Moran Global Strategies, MGS, to advance the cause of Biafran independence in the U.S. He is a Nigerian-Finnish citizen who resides in Finland, from where he leads the Biafra agitating group, Autopilot. He applied in June 2024 to engage the services of Moran Global Strategies, owned by a former U.S. Congressman, James Moran. Following increasing calls for his extradition to Nigeria to face prosecution over allegations of terrorism. The deal between ECPA and the lobbying firm indicates that the company will dedicate its efforts to representing the interests of Biafra. It will also work to persuade the U.S. government to support the secession of Biafra from Nigeria. The firm's responsibilities include providing strategic advice and facilitating interactions with members of the U.S. executive and legislative branches, as well as other relevant stakeholders. The deal outlines that the firm will promote the narrative that an independent Biafra, once established, will be a close ally of the U.S. and serve as a bulwark against Islamic terrorism in the region, as well as educate U.S. stakeholders on issues concerning Nigeria, such as human rights abuses, religious freedom, and the rise of Islamic fundamentalism within the Nigerian government. Already, the firm is working to secure meetings and interactions for BRGIE with key figures in various U.S. government establishments, including the leadership of the House and Senate, the House Foreign Affairs and Senate Foreign Relations Committees, and senior officials from the State Department, National Security Council, and the White House. The firm is additionally seeking to engage prominent religious, ethnic, and civil society organizations, as well as media outlets in the Biafra diaspora in the U.S. The deal, which commenced on June 15, 2024, will last till June 14, 2025 and renewals thereafter. As a non-profit news outlet, the Southern Examiner welcomes financial support from the general public in order to continue to provide factual, investigative, independent and unbiased reportage. Our long-age culture of editorial independence, public interest and balance stands us out from the rest till date, and with your support, we can keep the tradition going. For further inquiries, the Southern Examiner at gmail.com. ECPA, BRGIE's premier talks tough on Biafra independence.
Good afternoon, fellow Biafrans. This is the 11th day of November 2024, and I am here again to respond to a question by somebody who just asked me, Prime Minister, what do we do to sustain the peace and security we've brought to Biafra land? And I told him, and I said, I am going to make this video to respond because I know many people are going to be asking the same question. So here is my response. The only way to sustain the peace that we have brought to Biafra territory and to the Biafra people is to make sure that Nigeria never breed within our territory. The Nigeria Terrorist Army, Nigeria Terrorist State Police, and every arm-carrying person under Nigeria within Biafra territory must not be allowed to breed, because they are the main cause of insecurity. They are the terrorists that have been terrorizing people, facilitating the attack against indigenous people, and shielding these ragtag terrorists when they come to kill. So we are not going to allow them to breed in Biafra territory until Biafra become an independent state, recognized under international community and the United Nations. I want you to take a look at where Nigeria is breeding, how the security situation are in those places. Take a look in Yoruba land. Nigeria is breeding in Yoruba land. 29,000 people have been reportedly killed by the Fulani terrorists. Look at the northeast, northwest, where Nigeria is breeding. There are many terrorist groups springing up on a daily basis. Innocent women and children are being neutralized every day. Take a look in the Middle Belt, where Nigeria is breeding. There are people who have given birth to their children inside IDP camp. And many of them are today, many of those children are today 19 years of age. What does that tell you? It means that people have actually left and fled their ancestral land and have been living in IDP camp for more than 19 years. And without any plan for them to reclaim their land. Their land is now being occupied by strangers. Who are those strangers? The fighters that were actually killing the people and chasing them out of their own land. Nigeria is breeding in the Middle Belt. And that's the reason why we decided that the solution to sustain the security in our land is to make sure that Nigeria never breed. And that's what Simon Ekpa is leading. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
So, thank you. When a baby is crying, the only solution, somebody who came there will ask, who beat the baby that is crying? Who beat the baby? What makes the baby to cry? Then you will say, okay, the baby did this. The baby, I hope the sound is okay now. The baby did this or the baby did this. Then you will bring back the baby and then ask, what happened? You will settle the matter. Onye mụrụ nwa n'ebe akwa? Who beat the child that is crying? Anything in this world is solution. You must come to the round table. You hold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu inside the prison. All judges all over the world, including human rights, already declared Mazen Nnamdi Kanu innocent, and they ask for his release. Also to pay him compensation on the damages they have caused to his life. So, Nigerian government keep on holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, telling you that a human rights organization doesn't know what they are doing. But human rights organizations are the people that ask for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. African Union already asked for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They hold him in that place. All the lawmakers in Nigeria, more than 52 of them, came together and they asked for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Nigeria is holding him illegally, and holding IPOB members illegally in there. Then, what is happening? The world is trying to tell us that Nigeria is the strongest than America, that Nigeria must impose bad government. Nigeria must impose corruption on them. Nigeria corruption influence will be on top. That is what they are trying to say. The same CIA, they say that they are the people doing the best job. CIA said that Tinubu is working for them. We are watching everything. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu then in his gospel, he says, if this generation fail to restore Biafra, he said, forget about it. And why did he say this? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu says, those people that is born in the village that has the opportunity to go hunting that time, that they are the people they are the people that is understanding not this Indomie age. This opportunity we have to restore Biafra is sacrosanct. Number two, now, listen to what is happening. You will see Nigeria, they are doing what they are doing. Biafra is doing what they are doing. And then our people that they fought the war, they are still alive. Many of them are still alive. Then the people that is born immediately after the war, that experienced Kwashoko, that survived Kwashoko, they know. Many of them are in the government. The people who witnessed everything are here. Then the other people that fought for Biafra, many of them are old. Then from the war ended, which year? 1970, 70. Then when the war ended, then the people of 80s, these are the Indomie age. These 80s are the Indomie age. Then check the life of this Indomie age from the people that is born 10 years after the war. 10 years after the war. Then you check. When did 1967, 1970? It is not. Then 1980. The people, this Indomie age people, what did they do? That is why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu tell you that this is the most dangerous moment for Biafrans. Those that understood the gospel are the people he say, this war is for you. The Nigerian government already budgeted more than $30 billion to Islamize Nigeria, and they take Nigeria as their own. And when they take Nigeria as their own, they will then go and they attack America, because destruction of America is one of the agenda of Islamic nation. So Nigerian government has no option, America has no option than to create a good ally, a very strong ally with the Biafra. That is why they gathered together and they give PM the ambassador of the universal peace. Whatever that is happening, whoever, any other message you have apart from this is something else you cannot be able to explain on your own. Not this message. There is a message I am trying to bring out, because when many people do not understand the importance of documents, when diplomatic people say something, some people don't know the power of diplomatic language. PM already consulted Washington, D.C., and he laid his complaint inside Washington, D.C. that Nigeria is killing our people. That Nigeria is killing our people. Investigations circulated. Yes. Investigations circulated. Then Washington, D.C. send information to Nigeria. And Nigeria, everything they found out, that is what the chief of the lobby said in this place. He said, the amount of diplomatic violence I have infiltrated on Nigeria is unbelievable. The walls will close them close in on them soon. He says, I have destroyed Nigeria government image completely inside Washington, D.C. That is what you people must understand. No other thing. This world, America cannot do without Biafra this time around. Biafra is the only solution they have. Then, here is the certificate given to our PM. Here is it. Sure. My mouse is doing somehow. Then, when you understand all these things, look at it. Ambassador for Peace, Universal Peace Federation. Universal Peace Federation gave him, Simon Ekpa, the ambassador for peace. So, any other thing apart from this one, you are on your own. You are on your own. Any other thing apart from this one, you are on your own. People should try to understand this message very, very well. So, because we are not DOS. We do our messages with the evidence. Now, what is that thing that will be settled on the table? Then we start it. That thing that will be settled on the
Biafra Referendum. Published by Wikipedia. The Biafra Referendum, otherwise known as the Biafra Self-Referendum, is an ongoing self-determination poll organized and conducted by the Biafra Republic government in exile to determine the declaration of the restoration of Biafra, a partially recognized state in West Africa that declared independence from Nigeria and existed from 1967 until 1970. Background. Biafra was a nation that declared independence from Nigeria in 1967 under the leadership of the then Eastern Region's military governor, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. Shortly after the declaration of independence, the Nigerian civil war ensued as the Nigerian government sought to reclaim the territory of Biafra, culminating in victory for Nigerian forces in 1970. In May 2023, separatist Simon Ekpa wrote to Finland's former presidents Sauli Niinisto and Tarja Halonen, urging them to support a referendum for Biafra's independence from Nigeria. He submitted over 200 documents highlighting Nigeria's political issues and reminded them of an ongoing ECOWAS court case initiated by various ethnic groups, including the Coalition of Northern Groups, advocating for a peaceful Biafra exit through a referendum. In late October 2023, Biafrans hosted by Ekpa and his organization, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile convened in Helsinki, Finland to discuss the potential for a possible Biafra referendum to reclaim the lost sovereign nation. On the 1st of February 2024, a self-determination referendum tagged the Biafra Self-Referendum was initiated. Upon the conclusion of the referendum exercise, the BRGIE is expected to issue a declaration for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra on the 2nd of December 2024, during a convention scheduled from the 29th of November to the 3rd of December 2024 in Lahti, Finland. The referendum is being conducted both physically and electronically. As of late August, ECPA says that over 50 million votes have been cast. According to ECPA, the referendum is a response to enduring challenges such as marginalization, underdevelopment and insecurity in Southeast and South-South geopolitical zones. Reactions. On the 9th of June 2024, the separatist group Indigenous People of Biafra stated that only their leader Nnamdi Kanu can declare a referendum on Biafra. It said that such referendums will be conducted transparently and publicly, adhering to United Nations and African Charter laws, and that no such was ongoing at the time. In June 2024, the Organization of Emerging African States, a group which advises African separatists, stated that the results of the referendum will be binding under international law. It expressed satisfaction with the referendum's integrity and acknowledged its alignment with international standards for self-determination. A representative of the Center for Democracy and Development stated that the OEAS has no authority on the matter and that a referendum would need recognition from the United Nations or major sovereign states. A writer for the American National Security Journal Michael Rubin said, 30 million voted, a greater number than those who cast ballots in Nigeria's most recent presidential elections. In response to the planned declaration of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra, on the 2nd of December 2024, the Nigerian government, through the defense headquarters, stated that it is engaging with the European Union to extradite Simon Ekpa from Finland. Meanwhile, the BRGIE said it is inviting the Nigerian government to the Biafra Convention scheduled for the Declaration of Independence. Timeline. The 1st of February. The BRGIE announced the commencement of the referendum and revealed the structure of the proposed 40 United States of Biafra. The 10th of February. ECPA said that over 2 million votes were recorded in the self-referendum within the last 10 days. The 31st of May. The BRGIE said that over 30 million Biafrans have participated in the self-referendum, indicating strong support for secession from Nigeria. Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the BRGIE, stated that this turnout surpassed that of Nigeria's 2023 presidential election. The 20th of August. The BRGIE unveiled the map of the proposed 40 United States of Biafra, and set the 2nd of December 2024 as the date for its official presentation and declaration. The 28th of August. The Nigerian government, through the defense headquarters, says they are working with the European Union to extradite Ekpa for his comments on the presentation of the Biafra map and the official declaration of the restoration of Biafra.
Nigeria is
This
an African
post
giant.
here you are watching,
Its
the information
population of
minister is
220 million people is more than that of the two largest African countries, Ethiopia and Egypt, combined. Although Nigeria is no longer among the world's top 10 oil producers, it is still a major OPEC member whose production impacts the global economy. Nigeria is also on the front line of several security seams. To its north, it faces a persistent Boko Haram terrorist insurgency, while pirates ply its southern waters. Corruption saps its potential and contributes to disillusionment and instability. In order to distract from their failings, successive Nigerian presidents have exploited Nigeria's ethnic and sectarian divisions. The problem grew especially bad under President Muhammadu Buhari, president of the country. Between 2015 and 2023, Buhari was no stranger to ethnic and religious discord. As a young military officer in the late 1960s, Buhari was at the vanguard of the forces that perpetrated genocide against the largely Igbo population in the self-declared Republic of Biafra after a half-century. His disdain for the country's Christian and animist Igbo did not diminish. He facilitated the transit of Fulani militiamen to raid and murder the region's Christians, and designated the peaceful representatives of the Biafrans to be terrorists. Alas, he found a friend in Secretary of State Antony Blinken and the Biden administration who argued that the anti-Igbo, anti-Christian violence was the result of migration caused by global warming. This was patently false, however. Climate change does not charter buses to transport death squads. Nevertheless, even as Islamists kidnapped Christian girls, slaughtered Christian men and boys, and burned churches, Blinken removed Nigeria from the Religious Freedom Watch list. Biafrans, however, are not going to subordinate their faith to support State Department pandering, nor are the Igbo willing to pretend that they feel safe and secure in Nigeria. Between February and May 2024, the Biafra Republic government in exile held a referendum to allow Biafrans and their diaspora to declare if they wish to remain part of Nigeria or become an independent country. 30 million voted, a greater number than those who cast ballots in Nigeria's most recent presidential elections. Those who cast physical ballots on the Biafra referendum registered in advance and showed voting cards, while those who cast their vote electronically used Google Forms to ensure they only voted once. The results are consistent with public opinion surveying. Biafran leaders suggest they could declare independence as soon as this autumn. Biafrans, it seems, want self-determination. Even if they do not declare independence, however, the Nigerian government's unwillingness to address ethnic persecution and anti-Christian discrimination cannot continue. Blinken believed he could sweep persecution under the carpet in the name of diplomacy. He believed that if the State Department refrained from criticizing the Nigerian leadership's bigotry, Washington and Abuja might enjoy smooth relations. It is impossible to paper over such persecution, however. By refusing to demand that Nigeria treat all its citizens equally and respect their cultural and religious freedom, Blinken and the State Department demonstrated that Biafrans could not work within the system. Succession is never an easy solution. It often sparks great violence if not civil war. Absent American attention, that could quickly become Nigeria's future. A more astute U.S. policy, whether under President Harris or Trump, would acknowledge the reality of decades of Nigerian persecution toward Biafrans, recognize that trust no longer exists, and work toward greater autonomy if not an internationally supervised referendum to confirm the Biafra Republic government in exile poll results.
Keep an eye on the Biafran self-referendum. Published by Orb International. By Bridget Dubas, Senior Research Analyst. While attending a recent screening of the documentary, In the Shadow of Biafra, at King's College London, a debate occurred about the impact of the Nigerian Biafra War on current events in Nigeria. The documentary portrays the Nigerian Biafran War in the late 1960s through the lens of Nigerian writers, showcasing how perceptions of the war vary depending on generation. However, some audience members were concerned that the documentary only looked at Biafran's struggle for independence through a historical lens, and thus, firmly confining it to the past instead of highlighting the continued fight of many Biafrans for an independent state. Currently, the Biafra Republic government in exile, BRGIE, is holding a self-referendum to actualize the Biafra Republic peacefully. The first round of voting started in February 2024 and was completed on May 30, 2024. This will be followed by 2 consecutive rounds of voting commencing later this month and lasting until November 2024. After the commencement of the first round of voting, the Prime Minister of BRGIE, Simon Ekpa, said that over 30 million Biafrans voted in the self-referendum, which surpasses the number of voters in the 2023 Nigerian presidential election. Ekpa also announced that the restoration of the independent state of Biafra would take place following the completion of the third round of voting in the autumn. Biafrans' recent attempts to establish their own independent nation could be written off by some as futile since Biafra was reabsorbed into Nigeria over 50 years ago, but their desperation to secede from Nigeria is only increasing. Why do Biafrans want independence now? According to Ekpa, the Biafran self-referendum is justified given the marginalization faced by many Biafrans living in the southeastern regions of Nigeria and the ineffectiveness of the national government in solving this issue. This sentiment is backed by Orb International's most recent public opinion polling in Nigeria. Nigerians in the southeast and south-south regions are most likely to perceive the national government as ineffective, compared to other regions. The southeast and south-south regions were the location of the historic homeland of the Igbo people who formed the core of the secessionist Republic of Biafra, and a high concentration of Biafrans continue to live in these regions. Despite Igbos being the third largest ethnic group in Nigeria, there has yet to be an Igbo president since the end of the war in 1970, leading to a feeling of marginalization among the Igbo people. Beyond ethnic marginalization, BRGIE has cited increased threats of insecurity as a justification for the self-referendum. Orb data found that respondents in the southeast region are the most likely to feel unsafe in their communities, compared to all respondents. While insecurity issues like kidnapping, killings, and the destruction of property have plagued the southeastern region of Nigeria for years, the level of violence caused by militants and terrorists continues to increase. The national government has been unable to curb the increasing violence in the region. This increasing threat of violence, coupled with the ethnic marginalization of the Igbo people living in this region, could be a current trigger for why Biafrans want to secede from Nigeria.
Lovely Biafrans, this is a Biafran Gospel and Bible 555 Vision. What we are playing here, everybody is writing that our Prime Minister has been arrested and they have been... No, we are not there. You understand? All we know, what you are listening to this place is what they are judging in that place. We already brought out this message in case of those who think that we don't have information or that we lack information. We brought out this message because in our program, we like to show everything we do. We brought out this message before as we started. This was the message, how we started. I'm bringing it up. What is? We brought out this message before. This came from the bridge that he has been invited, colliding with the case happened 2023 when the Finland government invited him and asked him what is happening. Now, what he told them is what you are listening to. Here we preach our gospel, like you listen from the Pentecostal churches. What he told them that made them leave him to come out and start his activity, that is what you are listening to. And now, where do I get the message now? Now, there is Finland convention coming up. The government invited him to come and clarify this matter. to come and clarify this matter before any other thing. You understand? And since then, he is always online, showcasing to the whole world how Nigeria become a terrorist country. Every one of them is following. Then, human rights organization already wrote to Nigeria confirming that Nigeria is a terrorist state. They recruited terrorists inside police and the army and give them uniform, send them to Southeast to come there to be eliminating our people. PM showed this thing to them. When he was the spokesperson, every one of us was in the Zoom. I am telling you first-hand information. Now, many Scandinavian leaders was in the meeting, including Finland lawmakers. We are in the meeting. He played the game. He played the video to them, how Fulanese has been eliminating our people. How they have been eliminating our people. So if you want us, I believe that the people that is here are people that is well informed already. You have been well. Mazen Nabekano said his last message, he said, you've been prepared for what is to come. I believe that anybody that is following us here is already being prepared for whatever that is coming. And you've been prepared for what is to come. Now, PM played the video. Many of them were crying inside the Zoom. Many of you have now experience of Zoom. This thing you see, a lot of people used to come. Scandinavian government, both to Norway, both to Sweden, both to Denmark, both to Lithuania, both to every one of them, they were there in that meeting. Both to Sweden and Finland themselves. They were there in the meeting. They cried blood from their eye, seeing atrocities committed by Dave Omahi from Ebony State, committed by Ugwuanyi, committed by Hope Uzodinma. They cried. After that time, that was when this news then come out. Those who is following us, you know, we do our thing the way you will understand it. That was when this news come out. When they found out that he stand for universal peace, they called him and give him this award. Then, since that time, their eyes is on him. They are watching. He keep on doing broadcast then. That was when he used to do broadcast and the analysis until he decided and said that he is now tired of broadcasting as well as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He called the media team. He motivated the media team. He said, okay, go on. That now he is going to face and be focused on onto the Biafran Liberation Army and make sure they defend Biafran land. Finland government, European government, human rights organization, United Nations, everybody is watching what is going on. So, who is writing a different thing? You must have been informed by now. Now, they invited him to come and clarify. Even before I like speaking with the messages. So even before then, he already wrote an open letter and submitted the open letter to Finland president, which we also have in this audio we are playing here now, telling the Finland president that he is declaring Biafra in their own land. I am trying to know if I will get it so that any other person that is not understanding, no going back, I have this one already. Then any other person that is not understanding what we are doing should know he officially, respectfully went to the prime minister of Finland and let him know that he is declaring Biafra, declaration of Biafra from his country. Let's know if it is this one. Let's know if it is this one. In case if you are not seeing it, because document speaks. We deal on documents. We deal very much on documents. Because a lot of people is just writing this thing. It seems like what we are teaching here is not bearing fruit. Let us know if it's this one. So, as it is going on, they invited him to come and clarify. And those clarification he is giving to them, let's know if it is this one. Simon Ekpa wrote to Finland president over Biafra declaration. He informed Finland government nothing is illegal and nothing is hidden. Nothing is illegal and nothing is hidden. Now it has become official that the chief of the army, chief of defense minister of Finland has to now invite him relating to the presentation he had in 2023. Now, every activity has been going on. If you live in the developed world, if the eye of government is upon you, they will be following you and monitoring what you are doing. They will be following you and monitoring what you are doing. Now, everything we are doing is online. Every activity of our PM is online. When Biafran Liberation Army fought and eliminate those that came to destroy our land and kill our people, then PM will tell them that the army which he raised fought against the terrorists being recruited and gave uniform to come and kill our people. Buhari recruited terrorists, Boko Haram, and he gave them uniform, and they become military. They call them repented Boko Haram. They send them to our land to come and kill us. Everything is in the open. Tinubu came and said he will start from where Buhari stopped. Then, as Tinubu start from where Tinubu continued recruiting Boko Haram into military. This is what you are listening to this place, the defense. Why we are here is for you not to be unaware on things that is going on. First-hand information. Now, with this message here, Nigerian News wrote that Simon Ekpa wrote official message to Finland government telling them in their own country he is staying there to declare the restoration of the independence of Biafra, which Ojukwu declared. And we have government in exile and the government in homeland. You understand? And all the people you see inside the cabinet today of this bridge, when Biafra is declared, every power will be dissolved, including PM. No president again, no prime minister again, no COS again, nothing, nobody again. Then it will become a government. Then when it becomes a government, then people will then come to vote who will be their president and who will be their prime minister, who will be the chief of army staff, who will be the finance minister, who will be the chief of foreign affairs. Immediately Biafra is declared on the 2nd, every power will be dissolved. Everyone, nobody, both the prime minister, everyone, every power, every post you are handling will be dissolved. Now you have government. And you are writing that our prime minister has been arrested. He is not arrested. Our prime minister has been consulted to come and clarify what he is doing in Finland. Simon Ekpa wrote to Finland president over declaration of Biafra. They called him to come and bring documents. And some of the documents, you are in advantage that you are listening to what he is telling them there. Please, let us continue. Now you understand it.
Picture 1. Conducting fieldwork in Nigeria. Response of the national government. While the Nigerian national government has not commented on the Biafran self-referendum, in January 2024 Abuja reaffirmed its opposition to any separatist activities, while citing the One China policy. The policy refers to China's position that there is only one Chinese government, wherein Taiwan is a province of China rather than a separate country and government. Although the government did not link its opposition to Taiwanese separatist movements with the Biafran self-referendum, several Nigerian social media users discussed the link between the two separatist movements. Based on this, it is unlikely the Nigerian government will support the results of the self-referendum and subsequent restoration of the independent state of Biafra. Given this data, it is unclear whether the Nigerian government's response to the results of the self-referendum will be through political statements or escalate to a military confrontation. Therefore, it will be important to keep an eye on Biafra over the coming months. Biafra Referendum Binding Statement under International Law, OEAS. Published by Daily Post Nigeria. Amid the controversy over the acclaimed referendum organized by Simon Ekpa-led pro-Biafra agitation.
Listen, I know we are here serving a lot of things. We are here serving a lot of things, making sure we deliver the information clear. Biafra must, come rain, come sun. Come rain, come sun. Biafra must be declared on the 2nd of December. Are you understanding? Now, when Biafra is declared, if Simon Ekpa is arrested, the deputy, the vice prime minister will declare Biafra. You understand? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not here. Our PM picked up and he lead it to this level. So any which way, that day, pronunciation of declaration of Biafra will be. Whoever that is in prison and whoever that is outside will come and they cool up today the same declaration of Biafra. Then that is where you will understand agbara aka azana onye jiji anakonye okwa onu ga-ekwu ọ bụ onye agwara okwe. The kind of people you have inside the bridge, this government in exile, the one I see, there are scientists in that place. There are a lot of professors in that place. There are a lot of diplomatic people in that place. There are people that studied in Europe that has up to 5 PhD that is backing this movement up. Are you understanding? So, in America, there are people that studied. We told you there are a lot of people in this government, nobody see their faces. Nigeria can do and go to hell and heaven to stop Biafran from declaring. They told you, if you hold Nnamdi Kanu, Biafra will come. If you say you hold, people are saying the rest of Simon Ekpa, somebody will declare Biafra that day. Then every other person will still go down to the round table to talk. Round table to talk. And what are they talking? What are they talking? Let me come here. They must say something. What are they talking?
Tell Buhari, that's what I said, that he's mad. He cannot join me. He cannot join me. He's a madman. He appoints judges. Buhari has been appointing judges in this country. He should stop with the judges. That is rubbish. People can have it, I will not have it. I won't have it. I will not have it. Buhari can intimidate judges, not me. Get with me. Nonsense. They are killing my people. Yeah, okay. After killing my people, you tell me to tell the secret. The person is mad. Completely mad. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret prayer.
Finland's winter war lasted 105 days. Your war has lasted 10 times longer. We understand what you're going through. We will support you for as long as it takes. We support you because it is morally right. We support you because you're fighting for your independence. But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security. The fight in Ukraine is our fight. Slava Ukraini. Finland's winter war lasted 105 days. Your war has lasted 10 times longer. We understand what you're going through. We will support you for as long as it takes. We support you because it is morally right. We support you because you're fighting for your independence. But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security.
Are you getting it?
Tell Buhari, that's what I said, that he's mad. He cannot join me. He cannot join me. He's a madman. He appoints judges. Buhari has been appointing judges in this country. He should stop with the judges. That is rubbish. People can have it, I will not have it. I won't have it. I will not have it. Buhari can intimidate judges, not me. Get with me. Nonsense. They are killing my people. Yeah, okay. After killing my people, you tell me to tell the secret. The person is mad. Completely mad. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret prayer. Rubbish.
Are you getting the message? Get the message very, very clear. And please, if you have not shared this message, it is good that you share the message and be strong. Be strong. Then let us continue. You see what our PM is our leader is telling them there is no different to what PM is telling them.
The Organization of Emerging African States has said that the results of the referendum shall be a binding.
Listen, the Organization of Emerging African States, Organization of Emerging African States. That is what they from Africa is telling you this one, that the PM has informed them. So try to be getting what you are doing.
Definitive statement from Biafrans under international laws. Daily Post reports that whereas the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, the Biafra Zionists Federation, VZF, and the Movement for the Actualization of the Sovereign State of Biafra, MASSOB, are still calling for referendum, the ECPA-led Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, is boasting to have been conducting referendum online. Director of OEAS, Ebenezer Akwanga, in a 6-point resolution dated June 24, 2024, cited by Daily Post on Thursday, said the BRGIE referendum further consolidated the self-determination pursuit of the people of Biafra amid decades of alleged marginalization by the Nigerian government. According to him, it endorsed BRGIE's self-referendum, a quest which kicked off through e-voting in February 2024 and is expected to be concluded on November 29, 2024. It also justified its recognition of the Biafra referendum on the basis that BRGIE recently submitted a request for self-determination to the African Union. The African Charter of Human and People's Rights guarantees the right to self-determination. Biafra has submitted a request to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights to assist with the referendum and peaceable transfer of power to the Republic of Biafra, if so, indicated by the results. The OEAS is satisfied with the integrity of the referendum, which is being conducted digitally and at local polling stations and is subject to multiple safeguards. The results of the referendum will be certifiable and will meet international standards. Millions of Biafrans have already voted in the referendum, which is due to be concluded November 29, 2024. The results of the Biafra self-referendum shall be considered binding under international law as a definitive statement of the intentions and aspirations of the Biafran people, Akwanga stated. The development comes barely a month after the Simon Ekpa-led BRGIE dragged the Nigeria government to over the continued detention of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and for the acceptance of the Biafra referendum. He claimed that the declaration of Biafra liberation on December 2, 2024, will bring lasting peace and stability to West Africa. However, only a few days ago,
this one now is from Africa. Then you will see, I think we already passed the one from, he gave guarantee, it is also here, he gave guarantee to the United Nations and the Human Rights Organization that the Biafra will abide, given the promise that the Biafra will abide with the international law. You understand? So all these things is what is going on.
Kanu accepted to enter into a negotiation with the federal government in order to secure his freedom. The development has heightened demand for a political solution to Kanu's incarceration, with over 50 federal lawmakers backing the request. Simon Ekpa writes Finland president over Biafra declaration. Published by Daily Post Nigeria. The Simon Ekpa-led Biafra Republic government in exile has written to Finland President Alexander Stubb over the group's announced Biafra Declaration Convention. Ekpa, in a statement on Wednesday through X, noted that the letter of intent was presented on Monday to Finland's President Alexander Stubb. According to Ekpa, the letter detailed justifications on why the Biafra Declaration is...
Maybe they say if you know the sea, if you know the here, you know the sea. The one now they are reading here now is this news, how he informed the Stubb, the president of Finland. This is the news. So if you said that the Ekpa is arrested, logically, from Montevideo Convention, the laws you're supposed to meet up before doing this kind of a thing, inside human rights organization rights, the law you have to meet up before declaring Biafra, and European standard of security. These are the processes you need to go. And this is the documentary. This is the documentary covering everything that is happening there. Our people didn't go to school. I can proudly tell you that the Igbo people doesn't go to school to study, to learn. Only those who understand the tricks. Not everybody went to school to learn how to think and how to ask a question. That is why even Montevideo Convention that is being created since 1833. Since 1833, nobody has opened that book. Nobody has opened it. So all these things you are listening to this place, that is what PM told us. And he convinced us with this thing. He said, if you doubt, go and open. Google it. You will see it. Go inside ancient library. You will see the law. Go there. You will see the law. Nobody have changed this law. So this is what is going on there, because Abaraka Azana, Onyejiji, Anakonye. Now we continue to listen to what he told the president of Finland.
It's a recipe for peace in Nigeria and to West Africa. However, only a few days ago, Kanu accepted to enter into a negotiation with the federal government in order to secure his freedom. The development has heightened demand for a political solution to Kanu's incarceration, with over 50 federal lawmakers backing the request. Simon Ekpa writes Finland president over Biafra declaration. Published by Daily Post Nigeria. The Simon Ekpa-led Biafra Republic government in exile has written to Finland President Alexander Stubb over the group's announced Biafra Declaration Convention. Ekpa, in a statement on Wednesday through X, noted that the letter of intent was presented on Monday to Finland's President Alexander Stubb. According to Ekpa, the letter detailed justifications on why the Biafra Declaration is a recipe for peace in Nigeria and the Sahel region of Africa. The letter of intent informed the Finland president to support the Biafra Independence Declaration because it is a recipe for peace in the Sahel region, Ekpa wrote on his official X account. The government of Biafra is contacting you to inform you about the overall aims and goals of the Biafra Republic government in exile and its international legal personality, and the pending restoration of the United States of Biafra under the auspices of an internationally recognized referendum to be concluded the last week of November 2024. Unlike other secessionist governments in Africa before and since, Biafra was recognized by 5 United Nations member states, the letter reads in part. This comes amid the increased agitation for Biafra independence in the past years. Ekpa had announced that from November 29 to 3, 2024, Biafra independence will be declared in a convention in Finland. Recall that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, concluded the last week of November 2024. Unlike other secessionist governments in Africa before and since, Biafra was recognized by 5 United Nations member states, the letter reads in part. This comes amid the increased agitation for Biafra independence in the past years. Ekpa had announced that from November 29 to 3, 2024, Biafra independence will be declared in a convention in Finland. 29 to 3, 2024. Biafra independence will be declared in a convention in Finland. 29 to 3, 2024. Biafra independence will be declared in a convention in Finland. Recall that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been under detention since 2021 over Biafra agitation. Efforts and appeals from several Igbo leaders for his freedom have not yielded fruit.
Now, I hope everybody is following what we are doing now. This is the news. And what is the answer?
The fight in Ukraine is our fight. Slava Ukraini. Finland's winter war lasted 105 days. Your war has lasted 10 times longer. We understand what you're going through. We will support you for as long as it takes. We support you because it is morally right. We support you because you're fighting for your independence. But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security.
You are fighting for Europe's security, American security, African security, and everything security. That is what they are fighting for. And what you read in that place, that the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, covering 40 states as of today, informed him that Biafra will be declared from 29 to 2nd. And they invited him to come and clarify. Do you get the key? Now, and if you don't get it, then try to get it. Then we continue what they are discussing. Expo number 1. What PM is telling this man today and all the cabinet of Finland government is what you are listening to. We continue.
Biafra will assent to all UN human rights treaties, Simon Ekpa.
Now, this is to human rights treaties. Biafra will assent to all human rights treaties. Simon Ekpa promised human rights of this world, where he is also their member. Continue.
Published by Daily Post Nigeria. The Simon Ekpa-led Biafra Republic government in exile has said it will back all United Nations human rights treaties in its coming Biafra Declaration Convention. ECPA disclosed this in an X-Space meeting on Thursday. According to him, supporting all UN treaties on human rights is sufficient to amplify the continued marginalization of the Nigerian government against Biafra and its people in the southeast region. He noted that Biafrans have been under attack in the history of Nigeria since 1967. He declared that the continued marginalization of Biafra by the Nigerian government is the sole reason for self-rule. The Biafra government will assent to all United Nations human rights treaties during the convention. We are agitating for Biafra independence due to the persistent marginalization by the Nigerian government, he said. This comes as ECPA announced November 28 to December 2, 2024 for the Biafra Declaration. ECPA recently sent a letter of invitation to the Finland government ahead of the conversion. Daily Post recalls that since 2021, Nnamdi Kanu has been under detention by the Nigerian government over Biafra agitation. Simon Ekpa says Biafra will respect UN human rights treaties.
You know, these are different newspapers we are opening because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu you are watching here now says that when international communities and the Nigerian news begin to carry our activity, then you should know that you have started. And he says that whenever you are fighting, trying to rescue yourself out from the hands of your oppressors, and the same oppressor know that you are holding him down with a civil disobedient, which is sit at home and creating your own military to fight back, they will tell you, come back. What you are doing is not good. Then you should know that you have hold them ransom. Don't move. That is the teaching of our leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Then he said, don't move. That's it. Anytime your oppressor asks you to leave that thing you are doing, you should know that you are doing it right. Then another newspaper is this one now. We bring it a little back.
Post recalls that since 2021, Nnamdi Kanu has been under detention by the Nigerian government over Biafra agitation. Simon Ekpa says Biafra will respect UN human rights treaties. Published by The Guardian Nigeria News. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Simon Ekpa, said it will back all United Nations human rights treaties in its coming Biafra Declaration Convention. ECPA, who disclosed this in an X-Space meeting yesterday, maintained that supporting all UN treaties on human rights is sufficient to amplify the continued marginalization of the Nigerian government against Biafra and its people in the southeast region. He noted that Biafrans have been under attack in the history of Nigeria since 1967. He alleged that the continued marginalization of the Igbos in the southeast by the Nigerian government is the sole reason for self-rule. That Biafra government to assent to all United Nations human rights treaties during the convention. We are agitating for Biafra independence due to the persistent marginalization by the Nigerian government, he said. This comes as ECPA announced November 28 to December 2024 for the Biafra Declaration. Recall that since 2021, Nnamdi Kanu has been under detention by the Nigerian government over Biafra agitation. Southeast governors, groups from the region and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election, Peter Obi had vigorously drummed support for the release of Kanu as a panacea to peace in the region. Senators from the Southeast region had also met with the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, to demand the release of the IPOB leader. After the meeting, the lawmakers resolved to approach President Bola Tinubu to beg for Kanu's freedom.
Now, Isaac is success, and the people who he says that the Sahara report broke record that PM has been arrested. PM is not arrested. PM has been invited, in case the new people that is coming here, he has been invited to come and clarify this message. And how is he clarifying this message? The letter he wrote to Finland government. How is he clarifying it is what you are listening. Maybe new people have just come here now. What PM is now telling the people who say where Sahara Report is reporting now. Sahara Report is Sowore, and the same Sowore said that everybody in Nigeria has been succeeded mentally, and everything is here. Now, this thing they call arrest. Let me start again. The thing they call arrest is what you are listening now is what PM is telling Finland, the government. We continue. Please, if any other person is not understanding, try to direct the person. Anybody that is having panic, try to direct the person to that place. That is the reason you should hit the like button. If you hit the like button, you share this message to all group. Anybody that is, this is the highest expo so far. We are 555 vision. Eji ụkpụrụ ọkpụrụ ikiri ya. Okwu anyị bụ nkụ ụgbọrụ udu mmiri na ọkọchị pụọ na-anya ya nkụ. Ọ bụrụ na aghọta, what PM is telling them is what you are listening now. And he made it open. Daily Post, where that is where I pick it up. Innocent. Then today a countdown is a countdown. We are 9 days to go to Finland. Then success, he said, thanks for the declaration. No problem. That is our job. Please, our PM is safe and sound completely. Now, if you want to know how the judgment is going on, whatever he is declaring concerning what he already informed them, listen to it very, very well. And if you want to listen to this tape, you may go to my Facebook page, Paul Onwubiko. You type it, you will search this message there, you will see it where we load it. In my this YouTube here now, it's also there. Amy Same, I greet you. I greet you, Amy Same. Then we continue. Whatever you are hearing, nya Igbo say anyopwa nse amara ka o si esi. If you shit, then you can be able to know how it smells. Now, every exaggeration, every propaganda, everything Ojukwu started, everything Owazirike tried, everything that made Mazen Nnamdi to be inside, all this autopilot, all this Berima, all this Nwaboda, all this DOS, everything is being peddled here now. Kpọrọkpọtọ, ndị Igbo na-asị na kpọrọkpọtọ agbago n'ihu ehi. This is the game. Ọkamgba ịgba nke a nya na ọkamgba ịgba nke a nya na ọkamgba. That is what is happening now. And if you want to be part of the information, we are loaded with information, and our job is to make sure we bring this information. Anybody that is following us, you will say you are informed about it. Then you will see the outcome. What is going on and what PM is telling them, that is what we are listening to. They will continue again.
We'll resist Nigeria's moves to persuade Trump against Biafra independence, ECPA says. Published by the Southern Examiner. Self-proclaimed Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic in Exile, BRGIE, Simon Ekpa, says BRGIE will counter any diplomatic move by the Tinubu administration to persuade the incoming Trump administration in the U.S. against supporting the cause of Biafra. Ekpa is alleging that Abuja officially wrote to Donald Trump when he was the U.S. president, urging him to distance himself from the undying agitation for the freedom of Ndibo. This is coming as President Bola Tinubu has already congratulated the U.S. President-elect, Donald Trump, after defeating Kamala Harris of the Democratic Party. Trump is set to become the 47th U.S. president. In a statement by Tinubu's spokesman, Bayo Onanuga, the Nigerian leader said he is looking forward to strengthening the ties between Nigeria and the U.S. amid the complex challenges and opportunities of the contemporary world. Together, we can foster economic cooperation, promote peace, and address global challenges that affect our citizens. Trump's victory reflects the trust and confidence the American people have placed in his leadership. He congratulates them on their commitment to democracy, says Tinubu. Onanuga points out that his principal believes that, given Trump's experience as the 45th president of the U.S. from 2017 to 2021, his return to the White House as the 47th president will usher in an era of earnest, beneficial, and reciprocal economic and development partnerships between Africa and the U.S. Acknowledging the U.S. influence, power, and position in determining the trend and course of global events, President Tinubu trusts that Trump will bring the world closer to peace and prosperity. EPKA is, however, claiming that Abuja did not only seek to distance Trump from his movement but that it also advertised his activism to the president in an attempt to undermine his cause. Expressing defiance, the pro-Biafra activist says the Nigerian government's efforts will not deter him from continuing his fight for the rights and freedoms of Biafrans. The development highlighted the growing international attention on EPKA's campaign and the Nigerian government's attempts to curb external support for his movement. ECPA, who is also the leader of the Biafra autopilot movement, has since engaged an American lobbying firm, Moran Global Strategies, MGS, to advance the cause of Biafran independence in the U.S. He is a Nigerian-Finnish citizen who resides in Finland, from where he leads the Biafra agitating group.
Yeah, a lot of people is still asking questions, and our job is to keep answering those questions. Yeah? Our job is to keep answering those questions. Thank you, Brother Paul, for educating. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, anybody that is doing anything in this life, if somebody beat you, how are they beating you? How are they beating you? Let me bring something to show you how they are beating you. Let me show you how they are beating you. Let me bring it. I will bring it. This is how they are beating you. Because our people didn't know how law goes. That is why Fulanis took advantage of us. They took advantage of us. But this time around, we are aware. We are aware how they are beating you. And when they beat you, you cry. Let me bring something out. How they are beating you, and nobody is asking question. Nobody is asking question. Listen, many people grow up in the village. Many people grow up in the city. That time, when someone beats you, maybe somebody who is bigger than you beat you. If you cannot run away, you will stay there to cry. Or if the person is holding you, you will stay there to cry until maybe your father come or your mother came. Then you will cry, and you will cry hard. Then the person, your mother, your father, your brother, who you know is greater than you, bigger than you, will ask the person who is beating you, what have this person done? Then the person, Nigerian government now says that our prime minister is destroying Nigeria. Now, how are they? Why did our prime minister?
An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country. Why is he wasting his time? Opportunities are out there for them.
These are them.
Unfortunately, the topical issue in Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring my foot. To hell with restructuring.
Yet, this restructuring is what Ohaneze Ndigbo has been clamoring for, pleading for. Mazen Nnamdi, when he picked up before, they told him they are going to bring restructuring. They refused. PM then says that when Biafra is declared, we are going to have what is called grievances declaration. This grievances declaration is now the thing that made him, as you are listening to this message, that he already hired lobbyists. He hired lobbyists inside Washington, D.C. that will explain properly to Trump to know what is going on. So the matter we have been waiting for a long time ago has just started. And what did the lobby say? The lobby said this, those who can read. The amount of diplomatic violence I have inflicted on Nigeria is unbelievable. The lobby is saying the walls will close in on them soon. The lobbyist says, I have destroyed the Nigerian government image completely in Washington, D.C. by exposing the truth. These are people that is working for Biafra. So, why are you then panicking? Nya, ebusianama eburubia nobi. That is the thing that is happening now. The game, ebu anagonuku. That is the game. It is now or never. We come and continue. Continue.
Group, Autopilot. He applied in June 2024 to engage the services of Moran Global Strategies, owned by a former U.S. government's attempts to curb external
Okay, we started
economic and development partnerships between Africa and the U.S. Acknowledging the U.S. influence, power, and position in determining the trend and course of global events, President Tinubu trusts that Trump will bring the world closer to peace and prosperity. EPKA is, however, claiming that Abuja did not only seek to distance Trump from his movement but that it also advertised his activism to the president in an attempt to undermine his cause. Expressing defiance, the pro-Biafra activist says the Nigerian government's efforts will not deter him from continuing his fight for the rights and freedoms of Biafrans. The development highlighted the growing international attention on EPKA's campaign and the Nigerian government's attempts to curb external support for his movement. ECPA, who is also the leader of the Biafra Autopilot movement, has since engaged an American lobbying firm, Moran Global Strategies, MGS, to advance the cause of Biafran independence in the U.S. He is a Nigerian-Finnish citizen who resides in Finland, from where he leads the Biafra agitating group, Autopilot. He applied in June 2024 to engage the services of Moran Global Strategies, owned by a former U.S. Congressman, James Moran. Following increasing calls for his extradition to Nigeria to face prosecution over allegations of terrorism. The deal between ECPA and the lobbying firm indicates that the company will dedicate its efforts to representing the interests of Biafra. It will also work to persuade the U.S. government to support the secession of Biafra from Nigeria. The firm's responsibilities include providing strategic advice and facilitating interactions with members of the U.S. executive and legislative branches, as well as other relevant stakeholders. The deal outlines that the firm will promote the narrative that an independent Biafra, once established, will be a close ally of the U.S. and serve as a bulwark against Islamic terrorism in the region, as well as educate U.S. stakeholders on issues concerning Nigeria, such as human rights abuses, religious freedom, and the rise of Islamic fundamentalism within the Nigerian government. Already, the firm is working to secure meetings and interactions for BRGIE with key figures in various U.S. government establishments, including the leadership of the House and Senate, the House Foreign Affairs and Senate Foreign Relations Committees, and senior officials from the State Department, National Security Council, and the White House. The firm is additionally seeking to engage prominent religious, ethnic, and civil society organizations, as well as media outlets in the Biafra diaspora in the U.S. The deal, which commenced on June 15, 2024, will last till June 14, 2025 and renewals thereafter. As a non-profit news outlet, the Southern Examiner welcomes financial support from the general public in order to continue to provide factual, investigative, independent and unbiased reportage. Our long-age culture of editorial independence, public interest and balance stands us out from the rest till date, and with your support, we can keep the tradition going. For further inquiries, the Southern Examiner at gmail.com. ECBA, BRGIE's premier talks tough on Biafra independence.
Good afternoon, fellow Biafrans. This is the 11th day of November 2024, and I am here again to respond to a question by somebody who just asked me, Prime Minister, what do we do to sustain the peace and security we've brought to Biafra land? And I told him, and I said, I am going to make this video to respond because I know many people are going to be asking the same question. So here is my response. The only way to sustain the peace that we have brought to Biafra territory and to the Biafra people is to make sure that Nigeria never breed within our territory. The Nigeria terrorist army, Nigeria terrorist state police, and every arm carrying person under Nigeria within Biafra territory must not be allowed to breed, because they are the main cause of insecurity. They are the terrorists that have been terrorizing people, facilitating the attack against indigenous people, and shielding these ragtag terrorists when they come to kill. So we are not going to allow them to breed in Biafra territory until Biafra become an independent state, recognized under international community and the United Nations. I want you to take a look at where Nigeria is breeding, how the security situation are in those places. Take a look in Yoruba land. Nigeria is breeding in Yoruba land. 29,000 people have been reportedly killed by the Fulani terrorists. Look at the northeast, northwest, where Nigeria is breeding. There are many terrorist groups springing up on a daily basis. Innocent women and children are being neutralized every day. Take a look in the Middle Belt, where Nigeria is breeding. There are people who have given birth to their children inside IDP camp. And many of those children are today 19 years of age. What does that tell you? It means that people have actually left and fled their ancestral land and have been living in IDP camp for more than 19 years. And without any plan for them to reclaim their land. Their land is now being occupied by strangers. Who are those strangers? The fighters that were actually killing the people and chasing them out of their own land. Nigeria is breeding in the Middle Belt. And that's the reason why we decided that the solution to sustain the security in our land is to make sure that Nigeria never breed. And that's
so for those who is asking if PM has been arrested or if PM has not been arrested, PM is under international assignment. All you have watched is what he is telling them, official. And here we play this one, the evidence says, then we can call it a day.
And in 9 charges leveled against me, this place where I committed this crime was London, in the United Kingdom. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself.
They removed it.
I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. They removed that law because since this offense was committed in England, so they said it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yeah, based on that, they removed London.
Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the broadcast.
Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196,
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022.
In violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible.
Yes, the persecution against the Igbos. The persecution.
No, let them give them a fresh one, not the ones.
No.
We have many of that.
Mr. Kanu, last one last question, not the one last question. Reference to what she has asked earlier.
Try to connect the dot now. Try now to connect the dot now. Connect the dot.
Tell Buhari, that's what I said, that he's mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me. He's a madman. He appoints judges. Buhari has been appointing judges in this country. He should stop with the judges. That is rubbish. People can have it, I will not have it. I won't have it. I will not have it. Buhari can intimidate judges, not me. Get me nonsense. They kill my people. Okay. After killing my people, you tell me to tell the secret. The person is mad. Completely mad. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret prayer.
Okay. As we proceed, if what you hear there is what you are hearing, then you should know how they judge case. We continue, please.
At this court. Yes.
And I have respect and love for her. She knows.
What if this case comes back to her? Because
it is not possible. It's not possible. This persecution of the Igbo people, this orchestrated, almost global persecution of the people, stops with me. It cannot happen. Very well. It can never happen. That is why we do what we do. That is why I do what I do. I am campaigning for the freedom of my people because of the persecution that we are facing. Yes. It's as simple as that.
So, when you are understanding what is special assignment, international special assignment, that was why they invited him. Look at it again in case people who they invited him. Read what is here. If you read it, something that happened 2023 when he started this movement and they registered everything, they called him to come and they clarify. And before declaration of Biafra, one have to inform the president of Finland that such a thing is going to happen. Now, they invited him, knowing very, very well that he is the ambassador of the universal peace. You understand it? Try to get that ambassador of the universal peace. Any judge that is going to face our prime minister must to have this thing on his table. You get it? Some people, United Nations came together and give it to him. Let us try to go a little. Universal Peace Federation, Ambassador for Peace. Universal Peace Federation came together. United Nations, UN, a human rights organization. Look at it here. Universal Peace Federation came together and they gave him this award, the Ambassador for Universal Peace. And what did you see us showed in this place? He gave college to United Nations that a Biafra, he gave promise that a Biafra will be and maintain human rights law, United Nations law. You get it? And that is why they called him to come and make it official before going there. Are you getting it? And we go there again.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Yes. The rules change.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. Section what me? As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes.
Then, what did you hear in this place?
Rubbish. The worst person being born. Rubbish. Rubbish.
No. I must make this simple.
Tell Buhari, that's what I said. That he's mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me. He's a madman. He appoints judges. Buhari has been appointing judges in this country. He should stop declaring judges. That is rubbish. People can have it, I will not have it. I won't have it. I will not have it. Buhari can intimidate judges, not me. Nonsense. They kill my people. Okay. After killing my people, you tell me to tell the secret. The person is mad. Not mad. Completely mad. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret trial. I'm going to back rubbish. The worst person being born. Rubbish.
Yes. The rules change when it comes to
Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. Section what me? As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person. Is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial. Is not done anywhere in the world. I'm having in my case. Of the people stops with me. It cannot happen. It can never happen. That is why we do what we do. That is why I do what I do. I am campaigning for the freedom of my people because of the persecution that we are facing. It's as simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. Yes. Thank you very much. So I was actually surprised that a high court have refused to obey or abide by the determination of a Supreme Court judgment.
and then take the only part that is against him and then refuse to apply the part that is in favor of him.
This cherry picking of what was contained in the Supreme Court judgment is what I'm against.
Yes, that's correct.
It should be implemented holistically.
Yes.
I'm not against taking any trial.
Judgment.
After all, I'm innocent, so they have nothing against me. But there cannot be any trial when key sections of the Constitution and a key Supreme Court judgment has been violated by a court of law.
Are you concerned that this means for the case to go back and come back to the court?
This is my fourth year in solitary confinement in detention. The fifth year will not kill me.
Sorry, what if the case is also reassigned back to her? Will you still be comfortable?
It's not going to happen.
No, it won't happen.
It won't happen. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way at all.
Thank you very much.
These are the things that the public must understand. Most of you journalists, the legal correspondents, you don't take time to actually study some of these rulings and judgments. Go and study. In fact, I'll give you...
Bring that envelope. Bring the envelope.
Look at it here. Look at it here. Look at it. I'll give it to her because I think she's a bit more...
Give her the Supreme Court judgment.
Can you hold this for me?
She can...
I want to let the whole world understand something. Very, very clear. In all this is judgment of the Supreme Court. It made it very clear that even that the impartiality of the judge is questionable. And it's here. Where is it? Please do bear with me. It says it here.
I like
what is it. Page? What is that again? Where it says all these things are online. Is it not page 18?
Do you know why we are doing this thing? We understand very well the kind of game they played on the brain of our people. Our people, they train the brain of our people only to do buying and selling. You become a businessman, market seller. They didn't let you know how to open book. That is why you have seen it before. What PM is doing now is he is using his international law diplomatic document to present all this thing to the world. Then on the 2nd of December, Biafra will be declared. So we are doing this thing. Whatever you are hearing or imagining, what is PM telling them and what he is not telling them, what he is telling them is exactly what you have heard from him before. And the ones that is being documented is what we already put in place here. And the Mazen Nandekano yet has not been released,
all these things are online. So I suggest that the journalists in this country actually take out time to do some basic research. It's not difficult, just minor research. You will understand the vacuousness, the emptiness of all the charges against me. Okay. They kept switching the charges. Yes. They said I committed this crime in England, isn't it? Yes. I made a broadcast in England. Yes. And in 9 charges leveled against me, this place where I committed this crime was London in the United Kingdom. Yes. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said. It's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it? Yes. Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the broadcast.
Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196?
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022.
In violation of their own laws. Violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? The kind to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible. Because the Nigerian people without going to jail and suffering for them is normal. Then my primary concern is to stop insecurity in the South, and it will stop. Once I come out, it will stop. And they know it. So those keeping me in detention are those that are either benefiting or profiting from insecurity. That's all there is to it. Okay?
No problem.
These are all Biafran gospel and Bible.
How are you?
Fine, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How are you doing?
I'm not very well.
What happened?
A lot of insecurity back home.
Okay, but health-wise, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm surviving.
You're faring well?
Surviving.
Okay.
Not faring well, just surviving.
So, a quick question. The last time we were in court, you talked about out-of-court settlement. You wouldn't mind. So, has that made any progress towards the regards in terms of talking to the agents?
My lawyers have been about to actually tell you that.
But you've been able to meet with them after that particular day?
Have you dealt with this very issue?
No.
Which one?
It has to be after court. We can talk about that.
Okay.
We're here for the judicial
what I was asking is, did they come to visit you after the proceedings the last day?
Absolutely. We're here for the judicial proceedings.
Yes. We're here for the...
we can address the other one.
We'll do that later.
And we have written a letter to them that they have not replied.
Okay, no problem.
They have not responded.
They have not responded. I met with Attorney General.
And mind you, the political solution was a solution actually suggested by the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the judgment. And most of you journalists should take time to go through some of these judgments and then come to your own conclusions. Yes. Go through all the rulings and the judgments. You know we have no case to answer at all.
Very well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're sticking to the plan. The constitutional infirmities, very serious, very grievous constitutional infirmities that are militating against preparing him for fair trial.
So, lovely Biafrans, so what we have just watched is what PM is defending. And this is the time to see the people who support Boko Haram and the people who support freedom. We see all the news that is laughing. BBC Pidgin News never wrote anything concerning the killings but from the Fulani. Then, but they are haste to write this one. You understand? Finnish court detains Biafran separatist leader suspected as. So, all this thing you are going to hear, what PM is telling them there is exactly what you are hearing from this place. And what is our final message today? Our final message today is this.
Have been terrorizing people, facilitating the attack against indigenous people, and shielding these ragtag terrorists when they come to kill. So we are not going to allow them to breed in Biafra territory until Biafra become an independent state, recognized under international community and the United Nations. I want you to take a look at where Nigeria is breeding, how the security situation are in those places. Take a look in Yoruba land. Nigeria is breeding in Yoruba land. 29,000 people have been reportedly killed by the Fulani terrorists. Look at the northeast, northwest, where Nigeria is breeding. There are many terrorist groups springing up on daily basis. Innocent women and children are being neutralized every day. Take a look in the middle belt where Nigeria is breeding. There are people who have given birth to their children inside IDP camp. And many of those children are today 19 years of age. What does that tell you? It means that people have actually left and fled their ancestral land and have been living in IDP camp for more than 19 years. And without any plan for them to reclaim their land is now being occupied by strangers. Who are those strangers? The fighters that were actually killing people and chasing them out of their own land. Nigeria is breeding in the Middle Belt. And that's the reason why we decided that the solution to sustain this security in our land is to make sure that Nigeria never breed. And that's what Simon Ekpa is leading. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Now, Biafrans, we call it a day.
Biafra, Ibo onye Biafra kama, Ibo onye Biafra kama, Ibo onye zu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na Ibo onye Biafra kama. Igbo ọchụ na ọjọọ kakwa ịla akụ n'iyi adịghị mma, ọ bụ omenala zu. Ibo onye Biafra ka mma, Ibo onye Biafra ka mma, Ibo onye zu adịghị mma, onye jụrụ gị gwa ya o na Ibo onye Biafra ka mma.
Ndewo, lovers of freedom. As we return, the time is now. You understand? We are not going down. We are up here doing what we're supposed to do. Lovers of freedom. Thank you, lovers of freedom. For now, as we return, we will be bringing you the news every day until we go to Finland. We will be there in Finland, and the Biafra will be declared. Biafra will be declared. Overtake is allowed. Biafra will be declared. There is plan 1, there is plan 2, there is plan A, there is plan B, there is plan 3, you understand? So, lovers of freedom, Biafra must be declared, and when it's been declared, then you carry the documents with all the vote that has been done, and they present it inside Washington, D.C. Then the roundtable discussion will start.